I'm Anastasia Taganova, the head of white label and multi-label department and tools for brokers. Today, we'll cover everything starting from choosing your business model, trading platform, how to open a company, which jurisdiction to choose, how to build a technical infrastructure, lots of things, and hope we will have time to cover everything. But before we start, let me give you a brief introduction of Tools for Brokers. We are the leading technical provider for over 14 years on the market. We have offices worldwide, Cyprus, London, Singapore, and even Georgia. And what we do is that we have this TFB ecosystem consists of our flagship product, Liquidity Bridge Engine, the trade processor. We have a PAM system and a toolbox with over 30 plugins and applications for MT4 and MT5. I'm personally working closely with white labels and different trading platforms. And last year, I had an honor to speak at the iFix Expo, where we were discussing the future of white labels. And in a nutshell, yes, they do have a future. If you're interested, you can check the recording on the YouTube. So what's our plan for today? We'll briefly touch the topic about the difference between a white label and a main label broker, which one to choose. Then we will discuss which business models exist on the market currently, how to choose a trading platform, and what are the options. Then we'll proceed with the topic about the KYC requirements, company formation process, jurisdictions, and all this stuff. After that, there would be a part about the technical infrastructure, like what shall we do after we have a company and after we have a license. And then I will tell you how we, Tools for Brokers, can help you with that. So since 2022, I think you've heard that it has become really increasingly difficult for young brokers to start to enter the Forex market. MetaQuote, as you know, has stopped releasing white label licenses, which was one of the most affordable options. And it might seem that this is the end, but it's not. And the Forex industry is currently, going through a very transformative period, and it's just the right time to catch the wave, especially if you like surfing. So today we'll explain how to do that. So let's first of all clarify the difference between a white label broker and a main label broker. So if we look at the scheme, we see that the chain for the white label consists of 3 elements. So there is a license or trading platform provider, white label provider, and a broker. The trading platform provider is somebody who actually grants you the license. White label provider has this shared license, and they host several clients, white label clients, on the one server, and then there is a broker, white label. For the main label, chain consists only of 2 elements. It's just you and the trading platform provider. And if we have the comparison of white label and main label, like, pros and cons, that's what we have. So the white label, they unfortunately or fortunately have to share the server with other white label brokers. Thus, they are somehow limited in terms of rights, in terms of the access to the data, because otherwise they will have access information of other clients, which is unacceptable. For the main label, it's only you, it's your full license, you have full access, you do not have any limitations. But talking about the technical setup and technical limitations, for the white label, it's usually limited. There are some restrictions, for example, in the number of symbols that the white label client can have, in the number of groups that they can create, the number of managers, and etc. Why is that? The reason is just simple. The server is not infinite. It has some capacity, and the server has to be shared with other clients. Usually, if a white label wants more or a more advanced setup, it requires just extra additional costs. For the main label, from what I know, there are no such kind of limitations because, again, it's full server of yours. But if we talk about MetaTrader, for example, you know that there are 3 levels of license, depending on the number of active accounts. So the more accounts you have, the more expensive the license. That's it. Then talking about the difference for the white label, there is usually a white label provider who is your technical guy, who is your technical support. And it's, to my perspective, that's a good thing because you have a team of professionals who knows what they're doing and they're responsible for your technical setup, maintenance. You do not have to worry about that. Anything you want, you just say that you want this, this, and that, and this technical support is doing that. With the main label, unfortunately, what you get is only the license. So you're on your own. You'll have to find a tech support by yourself. Besides, with the white label provider, there is usually some, tools, some benefits, such as it can be bridge connection, it can be source codes, it can be other maybe tools or applications the provider can grant you for free. With the main label, no extras. If you want more, you go on the market and look for what you want. And the most obvious, I guess, difference is about affordability. White labels was always the most affordable option, but it doesn't mean that main label is unreachable. No, it does, but it will take a bit more resources, which is clear. So now that we know the difference between a white label or main label, let's proceed further. So how to choose the business model and actually what is that? Usually there are 5 different models on the market, which is retail brokers or brokerages, the broker as it is when they grant access to the traders just to trade somewhere. Prop trading firms, I think there is no need to explain. Everyone heard of that. So there's challenges, there's demo, live, transferring funds to the A-book execution, etc. Number 3, hedge funds, or it's called investment funds. So when they pool capital from investors to invest in various assets. Liquidity providers is when you are basically provide the liquidity, so you are the market maker. And finally, prime of prime, it's just huge brokers who can be both a successful broker and providing a liquidity, so liquidity provider. For those who are just entering the market, we would suggest the first 3 primary model: retail, prop, and a hedge or investment fund. And your choice, you should understand that your choice align with such aspects as parameters as your business goal, the target market, trading experience, funds you are ready to invest, etc. So once you are ready with the model, it's time to proceed with the trading platform. And that's another, well, I can't say it's a pain point, but just a question to think about. So when you're selecting the trading platform, and when we have prospects who ask me, Anastasia, which platform to choose, I can base my opinion only on the platforms that I tested myself, and I will speak only about them. But currently on the market, there are many, many more options. But the one of the main pillars on the market are the following. So it's MetaTrader. For now, it's only MT5. CTrader, designed by Sportswear, and MatchTrader, designed by MatchTrade Technologies. As every product, as every platform, everyone and everything has its pros and cons. I'll talk about only pros, just because why talking about cons? So if we talk about these particular platforms, what I can say is that for MT5 is probably the most trusted platform, known everywhere. And you may easily, what is more important, you may easily find additional extensions to this platform. Why would you need something extra? To make your functionality, to make your trading more competitive, I would say, or advanced. And currently on the market, there are a few, I would say, technical providers who specialize on separate tools, plugins, applications to MetaTrader. Talking about CTrader, designed by Sportswear, it's not a new company, it's not a new platform, as you know. I like the interface, it's quite, I would say, modern, advanced. And what is more important is that they have the integrated copy trading. available for free, even for white labels. It's something like a copy or social trading, I would say. And they also provide the affiliate program with a separate interface, if I'm not mistaken, even the application to attract more traders and introducing brokers. MatchTrader by MatchTrade Technologies has a very easy and user-friendly interface, very intuitive. They can also provide CRM platform and even the PSP, payment system providers, like in-house, because they're also developing that. Also convenient, so you can find everything in one place. What would be our recommendations, like how to choose the platform? First of all, and I'm begging you, test platforms. Test all the platforms you consider. Generally, it is possible to go to a trading platform provider and ask for demo or sandboxes. You can go to a technical provider, I mean, a white label or main label, and ask for educational sessions. At TFB, that's what we do. We have a prospect, and first of all, we show him the interface, the functionality of the platforms. Because once you applied for the license, once you have started, you went live, it would be a bit more problematic to change or switch the platforms than you decide from step one which platform to choose. Check the features that in the client terminal, as if you were a trader. How convenient is that? Check the manager or admin terminal, like the broker side, backend, whether it has all the functionality that you need, and is there any add-ons? Is there any extensions that will help you improve the functionality? Obviously, compare prices and decide for yourself, are you a left or right? Are you a devotee of the quality, the status on the market, or you can give a try to newcomers, which also entered the market? Okay, so once your business model is clear, trading platform has been chosen, the very first official step is forming a company. You'll need to decide, first of all, on the jurisdiction, the size of investment you're ready to spend, and many other aspects, to be honest. And depending on the trading platform, the KYC may differ, but more or less it's the same set of package of documents is required. As I mentioned before, KYC procedure is getting more and more sophisticated and complicated. Trading platform providers wants to see transparent, decent brokers with the decent companies. What does it mean? Let's discuss step by step. To understand a bit more this jurisdictional world, let's look at the global regulatory map. I have divided all the jurisdictions that we have in three main groups. First of all, regulated non-offshore, like CISIC in Cyprus, FCA in the UK, FSCA in South Africa. Those are prestigious, decent, proper license jurisdictions. Usually they are for the brokers with the status, who is not just 1 or 2 years on the market, because they are costly. It will take a lot of time to apply for the license. It is required lots of compliance. So ideally, you'll have a separate specialist or even a team just for the compliance. And again, it's more about the prestige, the company of the brokerage. The second group, which is called regulated offshore, I would say it's Belize, it's Seychelles, Mauritius, Vanuatu. And nevertheless, they're offshore. They're also considered as proper jurisdictions, proper licenses, regulated. They are a bit more affordable than the first group, but still it will take time, around half a year and even more, to get it. And the third group, non-regulated offshore, St. Lucia, Marshall Islands, Nevis. For now, I think that's it. I can say that yes, there is a risk in these jurisdictions, but for now, at the moment, all the trading platforms that I'm working with, they accept companies in this jurisdiction. It doesn't matter that the third group is the only option and it's just for the broker forever. No, ideally, I would say that it's better for young brokers who has a limited amount of funds to start with the non-regulated offshore, just to apply, just to get the license, to get the ball rolling. And then step by step, once your business will start prosper, once you get more funds, to start increasing or expanding the range of the licenses. You'll take St. Lucia, then you get Seychelles, and then SISEC or or FCA or FCA, etc. And for a more deep understanding of the regulation, let's look at this map. Lots of information, I know. I'll explain everything. Here, I'm just comparing two groups. Offshore regulated, Seychelles and Mauritius, with the third group, offshore non-regulated. If we compare Seychelles and Mauritius, we may notice that the difference, I would say, insignificant. In terms of the time frame to expect the license, it's around half a year, 5, 6, 4, 6, the same. You will need the local office, sometimes even local directors are needed. Costs, more or less the same. It doesn't matter which jurisdiction, but every license, every jurisdiction will require the setup fee, like one time or during the first year, and then annually fees. So it's not just you bought a license and forget about that. Unfortunately, it's not working like that. But with St. Lucia, yes, it's non-regulated, but it has no any capital requirements, which is a good thing. It's only 1-2 weeks. So imagine that you can start the process within a month, actually, to apply for the company, to apply for the license, and then to go live. No need in any local directors, shareholders, no local office, nothing. And the costs are significantly lower, which is also a good point. What I would also wanted to say that it doesn't actually matter where you were opening a company, in which of these three groups. What matters is that the proper business activities that your company has, something like online currency trading services, brokerage services, financial services. The issue might be is that not all the licenses or jurisdictions can open a company with these business activities, but proper, decent, they will. And the ones that I explained. And overall, the company formation process may have its pitfalls because there are lots of work with the documents. It's important to check each and every document to make sure they are, first of all, real, non-fake, and with the proper information there. So at T4B, we also recommend our prospects to be advised by professionals like legal teams, and we go together with them from step 1, from the introduction to company formation, and then once the company is ready, we also assist with the, not assist, but just go to the trading platform together so that the client feels the backup, the support from us. Once all the essential corporate documents are ready about the company formation, it's time to think about other, I can't say the problematic, but documents that may be a bit difficult to get. Let's look at the next slide. These KYC requirements, I mean, this slide will be mostly about meta quotes and MT5, as if one of the most toughest KYC I've ever seen. So one of the first problem might be a physical address, proof of physical address. First of all, important to note that every company has 2 addresses: registered, the one where the company is formed, Seychelles, Mauritius, SISEC, St. Lucia, and a physical. And these 2 addresses not necessarily should be in one location. Usually, meta quotes, they do request the utility bill as a proof of physical address. And that's where a problem arises. Like how a company which is 1 month old can provide an office and even with the utility bill. I don't know. I never had, well, I had, but a few cases were like that. It's better, and as a workaround and a solution, is to provide a rental or lease agreement. So you are renting an office Plus, you'll be requested to provide, it's called a confirmation letter, which will be signed by a lawyer of this jurisdiction, I mean, of this location, this country, which proves that indeed this company has an office at this address. That's it. Document number 2, domain for the website. You might think like why it can even cause any problems. Well, believe me, it does. Why? Because usually, well, not usually, sometimes the website and the domain can be under a completely different name, can be under a person's name, under a different company. Make it as a rule that this domain should be only under the name of your company, which is applied for the license. Documents number 3, corporate bank account. It's a new requirement from MetaQuotes. From now on, they do request it from their clients for the MT5 main label, and even for existing white labels, it's also a rule. Before, they used to accept only banks, only proper regulated banks, but now they are okay with EMI, Electronic Monetary Institute. The only condition is that they should be licensed by the central bank of this jurisdiction. Let's say if this EMI is in Indonesia, they should be licensed by the central bank of Indonesia. If you are interested in this list of banks plus EMIs that are accepted by trading platforms, for example, MetaQuotes, and are easy to open even for the non-regulated offshore company, please DM me or send an email after the webinar. I will provide you a list. And a document number 4 is the verification, online verification of the UBO. UBO, ultimate beneficial owner, so the owner of the company. Again, just my very soft recommendation, please use a real person. And my biggest recommendation, based on a very tough experience working with white labels and main labels, never ever try to cheat with the documents or even try to forge them. Trading platform providers are very solid in checking that, and they will see, they will notice that, and the consequences, you will not like the consequences. I would say like that. So those 4. And once your documents are ready, you can be introduced to the trading platform provider. After the webinar, as a sort of a bonus, we will show you the brochure on how to be prepared fully for the KYC based on our experience working with white label and main label clients. We have gathered together recommendations, templates for any kind of letters that might be needed. So I hope you'll find it helpful. So as soon as your full package is ready, you're introduced to the trading platform provider, your license is getting ready soon. It's time, it's very, very time to think about the next step, infrastructure, your technical infrastructure for the trading platform. What you might need to kick off, for example, if you are a main label, you're going with the full license, for example, MT5, the first thing you need to know is about the hosting. You will need the very same, for example, at least this setup of the servers to start and to go live as soon as possible. Why this following list of servers? So first of all, the main server is just to install your license file somewhere. That would be your main priority. Then, in case of emergency, in case something is going wrong, I hope no, but still it happens, you will need a backup or a failover server. So in case of emergency, it will be automatically switched to the backup server. You might need an access server. Let me explain why and in which scenarios. Let's say most of your audience, I mean traders, are located in Asia, for example, but you do know that you might have a group or a cluster somewhere on another continent or the country. In this case, we would recommend to have an access server and that different locations, so your traders will be directed to the access server. Their connection time, connection ping would be shorter. And the server number 4 is for the liquidity breach. We do recommend, and we also insist on that, if you have a breach, it should be installed on a separate server. Never install it on the very same as your trading platform. As for, let me just continue about the hosting, just basic recommendations. Always choose the location of the hosting where your main audience. And ideally, your liquidity provider should be also in the very same location. Usually, liquidity providers, I mean, those who will provide you quotes for execution, for feeding, they have different data centers in different regions. It was made for the very same reason. The traders, liquidity provider, the server, everything ideally even in the same, spot, like a country. Okay, so what else? It doesn't matter where you're a white label or a main label broker, you will definitely need a good technical support, ideally 24/7, who will be available every minute, every hour, any questions you have. So technical support. The dealing team responsible for your brokerage strategy. And there is a slight difference between these two teams. So for example, the technical support, they can configure commissions, swaps values, execution rules, but the dealing team, they know exactly which values to set. They know the strategy, they're creating that. So that's the difference. What else? So you have the team working on that. You will need, obviously, liquidity provider, and at least in ideal world, in a perfect world, 2 feeds, the main one and a backup for 2 different liquidity providers. In case something is going on with the main liquidity provider, your feed and execution will be switched to a backup just to provide a just flow smooth feeding and execution. For that, obviously, you will need a liquidity breach. So it's like an engine, a risk management engine would be responsible for your transparent execution and overall the trading activity, and a risk management tool like any other extras. Now let's talk about the client environment, because the rest was more about the backend. So for your traders, you will need this home, the CRM platform, where you will host, you will get deposits, withdrawals. They will be able to create trading accounts through the CRM. To the CRM, it's ideally to connect at least a couple of payment services to receive deposits. Crypto gateway, I mean, for crypto payments, for fiat, bank transfers, credit cards, the more the better. Then I would also connect at least a simple KYC tool to check the quality of your traders. And in order to attract more traders, to get this traffic, as it's called, to connect a lead generation tool. There are lots of partners on the market who are working with this traffic, the lead generation. So we can even help you to connect to any of them to get these contacts. And the affiliate program, another way of attracting traders and IBs, introducing brokers, is affiliate program or affiliate portals. Okay, so now I think that's the whole infrastructure I have explained. And obviously, as I mentioned on the very beginning of the webinar, if you are a profound broker with the experience of several years in the market, everything that I said is easy and obvious. But for those who are just entering the market, it might be a bit problematic how to catch every aspect, how not to forget this, and that. For that, we would recommend to work with technical providers who will do all this work for you mostly, and will just minimize the headache that you might have with all of these things. So as for the tools for brokers, what we can do to help you with this process? First of all, let me share the information on which offers we have. We are working with the 2 trading platforms, MT5 and CTrader. With the MT5, we do provide a main label support and a hedge fund offer. For the CTrader, we have a main label as well, and white label for retail, and white label for prop trading companies. Within all these packages, what we provide is, first of all, hosting. So we do host all your trading platform, your license. But what is more important is we provide the advanced monitoring with over 12 parameters in order to prevent any problems with the server optimization. So we track the stability, the RAM, all the values possible to even to prevent in the future. Then we do provide a technical support, and it includes the initial technical setup if we talk about the main label clients, and the full maintenance and consultation. Any question arise regarding the platform, we are ready to assist you and to consult. In each and every package, we include the dedicated instance of own liquidity bridge solution, the trade processor, responsible for your execution, feeding, risk management, reporting, and many other aspects. We do provide the aggregated price feed, and you may consider, well, not consider, but it is a quote source. You may use it as a backup. We have a personal manager dedicated for every client who will be responsible for your education, both the trading platform and our products. And in case you will need any assistance with any other services like leads, traffic, CRM, which PSP to choose, payment system provider, which LP to connect, company formation, obviously, everything we assist with that. And I might predict a question, why a main label broker with a full license, it doesn't matter, MT5 or C-Trader, might need help of a technical provider. This is a slide dedicated to that. So first of all, in all the package, we have our trade processor, we hosting in case a client needs any migration services from one platform to another, we do it. We assist with the technical support available 24/7. So you basically do not need your own technical support team because we provide it. As I said, servers, other products, tools that are needed, and KYC assistance, and even the source code, so the aggregated price feed. Okay, seems like I talked a lot, but less than 40 minutes. Now I'm opening the floor to questions. Please feel free to ask anything related to the topics. Be ready to answer. Let me remind that you have this block Q&A here in Zoom. Okay, I will give you 1-2 minutes and then we'll start answering them. Okay, we have the first question. The question is, can I use any name for my company when using the company formation? Oh, that's a good question and a sort of a pain point to me personally as a former client success manager for white label clients. Usually, yes, of course, you can choose any name, but for every trading platform, there are some limitations. Let's say you can't choose a name of the continent, the country, anything related, if I'm not mistaken, to royal family. So something obvious, something loud, I would say. And my hugest recommendation before you proceed to the company formation, please go to a trading platform provider and ask for the availability of these names. For that, I would recommend to have at least, 2-5 company names, options, examples, which you are ready to consider. Ideally, they should not be synonyms, to check whether any of them are available. And only after you get this approval from the trading platform, you can proceed with the company formation. Because after your company is formed, it would be, first of all, it will take some time, your resources, funds, to make the company name change. Okay, I hope I answered your question. Another question, can you send us the presentation via the email? Of course, after the webinar, we will have the overview of the presentation. And yes, I will obviously share that. Okay, another question. How many assets are required as a broker? Do all assets that are being traded on your platform need to be owned? So I guess this question is regarding the feed that a broker can provide. Usually the more assets, the better, but it depends on the market which you are targeting. Usually LPs provide any kind of them, crypto, Forex, CFDs, commodities, all of them. It depends, first of all, on your business model, on the jurisdiction that you have chosen, because there might be some limitations or restrictions. So I guess so. I hope I answered. If not, please text me after the webinar. We will discuss in more detail. Okay. Another question, how can a new broker search for a license, for example, FCA? FCA license by from the United Kingdom. If we're talking about searching, there are lots of registries. Every jurisdiction has its registry, so you can check the status of existing brokers, whether their license is active and in good standing, I would say, or there are some problems with them. If we talk about the application, and if we are discussing such prestigious licenses as FCA, FSCA, etc., it's better to go together with the legal companies to have the process smooth. Okay. Let me check one more. Okay, I have another question. Where can I get pricing for packages? For corporate reasons, we do not share obviously pricing during these presentations, because I hope you understand that this presentation was not about promoting or selling. It's more about educating. If you're interested in our offers, again, you can contact me in LinkedIn or via email, and we will share the offers that we have. So CTrader and MT5. Okay. Another question, do you know if the required capital for licensed jurisdictions needs to sit on bank account, or also LP capital can be used to prove the capital? Let me read it once again. Okay, got you. I might be not 100% correct, and I would suggest you to have a talk after this call. I will reach you out. I think I know who is that. But answering your questions, it depends on the jurisdictions. If we talk about the minimum capital requirement, some jurisdictions request this capital requirement to be untouched. So it's like a deposit while your company is active. Some jurisdictions allow to use these funds, and which is a better option. So it depends. It really depends. Oh, there was a question more about the comment about the jurisdiction in Australia. So a participant claims or shares the information that it might cost around 2250K USD. So it might be cheaper even than Seychelles and Mauritius. If I remember correct, Australia, it's ASIC jurisdiction, I mean license. For now, I don't recall the specific values of this license, but if it's really true, you may consider Australian, but you need to make sure that you'll be ready to go with all the compliance. And if I, again, recall correctly, Australian license have some limitations, which audience you can target. I mean, which traders you can onboard. But again, let me make a note. I will double check that. Interesting. Sometimes you learn, sometimes I learn. Okay, so it's 45 minutes. Just one last question. So I said that brokers get limited rights as white labels. So can I have a list of limitations? For the C trader, I can provide that. Yes, for sure. Please reach me out after the webinar. I will send you. I think I have it. For the MT5, I think it's not relevant. White labels are no longer available. Okay. Well, the last one question. Will I have access to the API in main label, probably MT5 for C trader, you meant, for creating customized applications? Every platform provides API, web services, manager API. If it's main label, you will have all available because you do not have to share anything with other clients. For creating applications, I guess so, yes. But I will double check with my development team. I think they will be more professional with this question. I guess you would like to be a technical provider as well, if you're interested in creating your own applications. Okay, seems it was the last question. Thank you very much for all of them, because to be honest, I thought that there would be no questions, and I like questions. Thank you once again for your time that you spent almost 1 hour with me. I really appreciate it. Have a great day ahead and all the best.